Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on my floor and we talk about everything and all things books. So today we're talking about my November TBR, and it's a little bit couple of days late per usual. I was sick for the past kind of week, so the timing of the filming just kind of happened that way. So such is life. So yeah, let's just talk about my November TBR. But first, these are the books that I did not get to in the month of October from my TBR. But Crush, I am actually currently reading right now. This is book 2 in the Crave series. This is a YA fantasy, very inspired by Twilight. This is by Tracy Wolff, and I have enjoyed the first one so far, so this is the second one. It is inspired, you can tell, by Twilight, but it definitely has a different storyline, and it's also a magic school kind of academy setting as well. This is set at Katmere Academy, and this follows our main character. I can never remember her name. I think it's Grace. And her parents passed away in a car accident, I believe, and she goes to this academy to where her uncle is the headmaster there, and her cousin also attends there, and she discovers that there is magical creatures and such, but when she goes there, a lot of the students and faculty kind of try to hide the fact that this is a magical school from her. So you just kind of follow her journey from there. And the other ones I did not get to was The Dead Romantics, Strange Grace by Tessa Gratton, and Ninth House, which is on another which will just be pushed onto another one. I will keep these on rotation for if I'm able to get to them for this month, and I'll just keep them because I really want to get through my TBRs and actually complete them. So I will not forget about these, and we'll see how this all happens. So the goal is to read them like it always is with the TBR. Alright, and then next out of that, let's talk about some read-alongs that I will be joining. The first read-along that I want to discuss is one that I am co-hosting as a book club with my friend April from Happily Ever April. We are actually this all started as a Johanna Lindsay read-along, but after I think book 8 or 9 we just couldn't read that series anymore. So this past month we read a fantasy series, and that live is called The Crown of Oaths and Curses by Bree, plus the 2 prequel novellas. That was supposed to be this past Sunday when you're watching this. Because I was sick, it has been moved to this coming Sunday from November 4th. I will link the updated live information down below. That way you can hit your notification bell and everything like that so that you can join the discussion. It's going to be Sunday at November 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to having that discussion with April. It's going to be, I think, a really good discussion. The other thing is, because of that, I think we're tentatively in the process of creating like a book club, so we'll see. I don't know, we don't have the details yet. I'm sure I'll keep you updated. Just make sure you're following her, and you have your bells notifications as well, and just your notifications for myself as well, for more updates, and also Instagram and everything like that. So I'll link my Instagram down below, so that way you can check out that information. And so yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying like going to like a fantasy kind of vibe, or just kind of whatever kind of strikes us, what mood kind of strikes us that way. With that said, for the month of November, because we both need to finally read the sequel so we can get ready for when the third book comes out, I think in January. So we're going to be reading A House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 2 in the Crescent City series, and I think I read book 1 earlier this year in June. With the marketing being released for book 3, I think I'm a little bit spoiled for book 2, but I'm just gonna, as I mentioned before, kind of be surprised. So this is an urban fantasy by Sarah J. Maas, and yeah, I don't want to say too much for that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. This live will be the last Sunday of this month, so I think it's Sunday, November 26th. I think that's the date. The 26th to 24th, I can't remember, but it's always the last Sunday of the month. It'll be at same time, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time. This live will be on April's channel. The one for the Crown of Oaths and Curses will be on my channel. So we kind of swap every other month. Alright, so I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm gonna have to do a quick recap of everything so I can remember. But yeah, it's a chunker. This is gonna take most of my time to make sure. It takes me usually about a week to read her book, so I'm gonna try to a week to 10 days. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take me a while. So yeah, we're just gonna read this, and looking forward to having the discussion. Next, there is a read-along hosted by the Historical Hellions Club. That's by Jess from Peace Love Books and Samantha with Books with Samantha, and they are doing Kathleen E. Woodow's The Flame and the Flower. This is so I'm delving back into historicals. As I mentioned before, I am still really enjoying fantasy, but I have been missing, and after the romance readathon in August, I did kind of need a break, and then of course I was in the mood for fantasy because it's fall. So now I'm looking forward to kind of delving back more into historicals, and I'm hoping to read more. This kind of time of year, I'm more in the mood for Highlander romances. So there's a few here that I might change it up a bit, depending on my mood on the Highlander romance kind of side. I have never read a book by Kathleen E. Woodow's, and I think this is the book 1. I forget the name of the series, but this is book 1 in the series. Part of my goal, especially for next year, is to read all of her novels, because I think she only wrote 12 novels, so it should be because of that, it should hopefully be really easy to read her backlist. And as I mentioned, I wanted to read more Highlander romances, so I'm starting back up with Julie Garwood, The Bride. This is book 1, and I think the Laird, I forget what it's called. Yes, the Laird Fiancés. I think it's a standalone in the series. So there's The Bride and then The Wedding. So this is book 1. It has been 10 years since I read the series, and I remember reading, like, with Highlander romances, Julie Garwood was the one that always popped up in my brain. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I do remember it being an absolute fave at the time, so I'm hoping it is again. I think Julie Garwood passed away, I think this past July, so it's also something that has made me sure make me want to keep a lookout for her other novels as well while I'm going library book sale shopping. I don't own the second one, The Wedding. I do want to also try to read The Wedding this month. That I do not have a copy of, so I will try to check that out from the library. And then I do have, I did want to showcase, I do have a pocketbook copy, hardcover copy of The Bride. It doesn't have anything, no step back or anything. My copy of this doesn't have a step back either, but that is something that I'm out on the look for. Our sequels and novels that I read earlier this year. and that is Kate Bateman, A Wicked Game. This is book 3 in their Ruthless Rivals series. I believe this one is kind of like a mutual pining. He goes off into war, kind of like a little bit of second chance. I think it's kind of like a childhood friend to lovers, and then like there was like a potential or something like that. So, and he comes back. Yeah, I can't remember exactly the premise on this one, but I do know that she is a map maker and her map kind of leads him astray. He doesn't know that it's her map. And their relationship before, they had a bet on like 3 kisses, and so he's coming back to claim them as well. So it's like a very flirtatious like childhood friend to lovers kind of thing, I suppose. Kate Bateman's a new author to me this year, and I'm really looking forward to reading book 3. So we'll see how that goes. Then I want to try to get to The Hunter by Kerrigan Byrne. I read book 1 during the romance readathon, The Highwayman, and that has turned into like an all-time 6-star fave. This is a dark historical romance series, and that is really my jam, and that is something that I really do enjoy, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. Book 1 kind of destroyed me, but in a marvelous way. In a marvelous way. So yeah, I really loved the first one. It had a lot of angst and just pining and everything, and mystery, and the conflict between the two main characters was just absolute perfection. So I highly recommend, and so I'm really looking forward to this one. I believe this one follows, he's the spy friend, the elite, he is London's like elite assassin. And then I think she is actually revealed to be one of his assignments, I think. So that sounds really, really fun. Then next, I have checked out from the library, so my hold came up. I wasn't expecting it to come so soon, but that is the book 2 called Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This is book 2 in the the Shepherd King duology. So this just released, I think, last month, so I don't know who I am reading new releases. But yeah, that's really looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm really the first one was a 4-star, so I'm interested in seeing how this conflict and everything, kind of the scavenger hunt for the mysterious card kind of happens. The Twin Elders is what they're remaining to pick up, so we'll see how that goes. Of course, I can't forget to mention so book 2, Iron Flame from Fourth Wing. I do own the first edition Fourth Wing with the sprayed stenciled edges. So I had that pre-order that releases in November 7th, so I'm really looking forward to reading that. So as soon as that comes in, I am reading that book. So definitely excited for that. Of course, I think you all have seen everything known to man. I'll put the picture of the second book on the screen here. But yeah, so looking forward to that. That has been so hyped, and I am on the hype train. I just love it. It's just a fun time. There's dragons, romance, action. It's great. And let me see here. Oh yes, currently I am reading on Kindle Unlimited, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. That is book 2 of Crowns of Nyaxia by Carissa Bradbitt. Really enjoying that. This is vampires. The first book is a very Hunger Games kind of, but like it's a tournament, but because they actually volunteer for that tournament, and the winner kind of gets their wish of they can claim a wish from the goddess of goddess Nyx, so I think that's her name, and who's like the goddess of the vampires and that such. So really interesting. It's the 2 main characters are enemies to reluctant allies to lovers. So it's been kind of book one was so great, left on such a big like ending. And one thing to note as well is that book one really does, it follows the tournament the whole time, so just keep that in mind. And then book two kind of just follows. I'm almost done with book two right now. I'm thinking about 60% of the way. It does follow the events from the first one. I also, on Kindle Unlimited, I do want to read The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I do have the this was recommended to me by April. I think I've had this on my radar for a while before that though, because I do have on NetGalley her newest book. I think something, I forget what it's called, but I also have that book pre-ordered. I haven't even read anything about the author, but it looks really good. It's like Vikings and that whole thing. This one is, I think, I don't know too much about it. I know it's like a true enemies to lovers, and it's a royalty kind of thing. So we have a warrior princess. It's kind of like she goes in there for like a very political one to kind of infiltrate his kingdom and that kind of thing, marry him and take over there. So like I said, don't know too much, but I've heard nothing but good things about that series. Lastly, I just started this one because my physical hold from the library just came in. So I have to get this one read. This is Assistant to the Villain. This is by a new release. I think it was just last month as well. So I think in September of October it released. This is book one in a new series, and a new author to me. I never heard of her before, but it seems very kind of rom-com-y, kind of doesn't take it too seriously, where she's an assistant to the villain, but it's kind of like magical realism, I'm guessing. So I don't know too much about it, like I said, but I'm really looking forward to reading that one as well. I forgot to grab it, but Kingdom of the Curse. I do own a physical copy of this. This is book two in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. I read book one in October, and I'm looking to continue on that one as well for book two. So yeah, that is all the books I'll be reading in November. As always, I will leave my link to my Goodreads and my Instagram down below in the description box. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.